What's going on? It is 7 o'clock. That means it's time to get started with Motivational Sundays. And today, if you've been following some of my posts on Instagram and the video I posted, I think I posted here on Facebook today as well. What's going on, Mark? You'll know that today's theme has been following those posts. And today's theme, I just want to talk to you a little bit about operating in the impossible. There's a lot of times we face adversity or dealing with struggles or facing negativity or whatever may have you that's in your environment that's kind of bringing you down and stopping you in your progress and making you feel less than and thinking you can't do some of the things. You develop some type of self-doubt around whatever you're doing. And I just want you to know that you can overcome, you can get past, you can move forward with whatever you want to do, the goals you set for yourself. And one of the things that you really just have to start doing for yourself is believing in the impossible. Nothing has been done in this life, in this universe, without the will to push past the naysayers and what people believe isn't true and how they always are against whatever you think. People don't like change, so they're saying this works, so why change it, why do something different? And the way I see it is that people always ask, well, why be better, or why change this, or why do something new? And I think that's a kind of a backwards way to think about things, is that's going against progress. So I was watching Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who was in an interview, and he said it kind of offhandedly, but it spurred this whole train of thought and this, for lack of a better words, new belief around what I feel and what I'm thinking about my life and its trajectory and all the things that I've seen and been through and seen others go through and help others through. And I really believe that the impossible is where a lot of people don't go, or a lot of people shy away from, or a lot of people don't believe in. But I have come to believe that that's the only place you can operate in to achieve the type of goals you set for yourself, to achieve above beyond the status quo, to reach higher heights, and to really inspire others to change and move the crowd forward. I mean, change the trajectory of history. I mean, if you look back on things as early as the wheel, before that, I'm pretty sure they thought it was impossible until somebody made it possible, and then it was. And then if you keep going forward in the time, like the houses and the gardening and all the equipment and they use in battles, and those things had been invented, and before that they were considered foreign and quite impossible. So I think that it doesn't make sense to be doubtful of yourself or anyone that or any new idea without doing without doing proper research surrounding that. And what's going on, John? I think that a lot of people have fallen into the trap of being a part of the status quo, and you really gotta understand that I just recommend you not stay there. It's not beneficial to you. It's not beneficial to what you want to do. It's not beneficial to anyone around you, because you have all this talent that you're wasting staying commonplace and doing what you think is okay and what you think is just enough. Well, I'm here to tell you today that it's not enough, and you can do a whole lot more. And it's really just been a journey for myself that I've seen of research other people that have done it, and it really changed the way the world stays. So when I think about it, so when I think about it, I want people to understand that operating impossible, what's going on, Maurice, it's not this outlandish place where you're conjuring things using magic like you're Harry Potter or something like that, but operating in the impossible, just doing something that never has been done before, because you can't get different results doing the same thing over and over. I mean, that's what's going on, KJ. I think that's pretty much that's pretty much insanity, defined outright. So I just want to take time today to say, whoever's watching this, wherever you are, whoever watches this later, I want to let you know that you can operate in the impossible. One of the things that I said in my videos today on Instagram and that I want to share with you guys that are watching now is that something I started to say to myself when I'm feeling like, oh, this is too hard, oh, I don't want to get up, oh, I don't want to do this. You have to do the improbable, be unstoppable, and operate in the impossible. And I really mean that. And I want to give you just a list of a few people who live their lives operating in the impossible. And, you know, you might know these people, but you never realize how much they change the world. You know, when the Wright brothers first got started with the airplanes, people were like, you're crazy, it's never going to work. But now we have flights going to and from, and that's just commonplace that no one ever takes it. Stop to think. We're flying across the sky in a big metal box, and that's normal. But when it first happened, people were like, yo, you're crazy, this is never going to work, you should stop doing it, you guys are in their jobs, whatever. The guy who invented the first car operated in the impossible. His name was Carl Benz. If you look at, I heard of this guy today, this guy named James Lawrence. He ran 50 Ironmans in 50 consecutive days in all 50 states. So one Ironman each state in 50 days. That sounds outlandish. That sounds crazy. That sounds ridiculous. But someone did it. So how can you still operate in that mindset that these things are not possible? David Goggins, another guy, ultra marathoner. He went into the military and did Hellway 3 times. I mean, one is enough for anyone, but he did it 3 times. So that shows his tenacity and the will to do something. Stephen Hawking, he was one of the top physicists, top theoretical physicists in the world, and he had ALS. So he later in his life, when he was doing this major work, he wasn't able to move his limbs, but he could still use his mind. That to me would sound like something someone would say is impossible, but actually it is possible. Arnold Schwarzenegger came over to America from Austria as a poor immigrant, became a world famous bodybuilder, then became an actor, and then became a governor of one of the biggest states in America. I mean, it's a rag to riches story, but a lot of people view that, if it never happened, as something that might be impossible. Sylvester Stallone actually wrote the first Rocky, and he was dirt poor but wouldn't sell his script until he was given the starring role. Jay-Z came from the Marcy Projects and now is a billionaire. He has multiple businesses, really a well-known rap career, and like there's so many names out there that I can just list and list and list. So why can't you be on that list? Why don't you start believing in yourself? Why don't you stop doubting everything you do? Why don't you start, I don't know, doing something that you're actually passionate about? Why don't you stop going into that job that you hate? Stop getting to the office and watching Netflix for 2 hours and maybe doing 6 hours of work, real work for the whole week. Why don't you operate in the impossible and find something that you really want to do, that you really want to see flourish, so you can better yourself and use your talents to better the world. You know, a lot of people stay where they think is safe, and Les Brown says the richest place in the world, the most wealthy place in the world, is the graveyard. And I don't want anybody here, we all have to die someday, but you can, while you're here, you can use your life and your time to give something back. So operate in the impossible to make the world a better place. So take this message today for whatever it's worth and try to operate in the impossible, because nothing I mean nothing. I mean nothing is impossible. I want to thank you guys for watching today. I really appreciate the Overcomers community. Thank you, Aunt Sandy. Thank you, John. Thank you, Sandra. Oh, that's not saying. Thank you, Maurice. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Sydney. Thank you, KJ, for watching live. Thanks to anybody who watches this video afterwards. Shout out to my boy Anime Bay, who's on YouTube. Buddha, you can find him on Instagram, Buddha30 for 30, on Twitter at 0_and_bless. And just thank you everybody who's been watching my journey and following my progress. I really want to thank you all for all the support, all the love, and all that. Before I go, I always have to say, the darkest night often precedes the brightest morning. In the morning, it will come. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week. Till then.